What's up, nail geeks, and welcome back to this month's Arcana Lacquer collection. I'm extra pumped to show you all this set because we have the Resist the Urge collection. Arcana is one of those brands that shows PR information on printed paper. It's really nice, so I don't have my phone next to me. We have the Resist the Urge collection, which is an 8-piece set inspired by evil acts and villains from the game Baldur's Gate 3. Since Polish Pickup, I believe April was our video games month, I have been talking about playing Baldur's Gate 3 since then, and then I talked about it again, I think even like 2-3 weeks ago on a video, and I'm super excited to say that with the launch of this collection this week, it totally wasn't timed. I actually purchased the game a few weeks ago, as I mentioned on another video. I've been talking about it so much, and I'm super excited that I started it this week. And if you're curious, I am a high elf with a scholarly type of background, and I am a wizard class, of course. So it has been so very fun. So far, I'm at the very first town, and it's an absolute treat. I knew it was going to be an amazing game that I fell in love with, and no surprises there. But I guess I wasn't prepared for how immersed and how much I would fall in love with it, I guess. It's amazing. So I'm super geeked to not only swatch this collection in time, but also play the game. So I'm sort of getting the references a little bit. I'm so pretty well into the introduction, so to speak. But I'm very excited. I am all about Baldur's Gate 3 right now. So we have lots of shimmers to check out. We have 2 magnetic polishes, and we're going to check out the live swatches, and then we are going to jump into the Will It Topper segment, and then we're going to talk about the launch information as usual. So without further ado, this is not a video game channel. This is a nail polish channel. So let's dive into the swatches. Rite of Thorns is described as a light brown base with green shimmer and green reflective glitter. This definitely captures the druids' outfits, their armors, whatever you want to call it, in that area. So super geeked to see these inspirations and their colors matching up. Rite of Thorns is what I would describe as being a true jelly base. This is flirting with being on the somewhat sheer side. It's pretty soft in the overall feel and build up. And if you have a super prominent free edge, or your falsies have a tint to them of some sort, you might see a touch of your smile line in your final look. I'm going to suggest 3 coats and a glitter smoothing top coat and glossy top coat. And again, if a free edge bugs you, you might want to use a nude to you cream base or a blurring base coat of some sort. The texture on the reflective glitters here aren't super gritty, but it does have a very flat, thirsty dry down. Sovereign is described as a light teal base with pink to orange to yellow shimmer and red to orange to yellow flakes. Sovereign also has a very jelly-like buildup to it. It's on the softer side, again, in general of how it appears, and that just allows all that beautiful shimmer, very much, again, like Rite of Thorns, to shine through. I'm going to suggest 3 coats and a somewhat thicker glossy top coat. With that said, if a free edge bothers you or your visible nail line showing bothers you, my disclaimer for that will apply here too. But overall, this is a softer type of buildup. Be mindful of brush strokes and going into heavy-handed, as this does have a strong, plumpy, squishy type feel. Queen of the Depths is described as a light blue pearlescent base with blue shimmer. This is what I would describe as having a very strong chrome-like buildup to it. So I'm going to really just hammer home on finishes like this. Go in light, and thankfully we have a paddle brush. So exploit that wide brush to kind of do the work for you and prevent any type of potential brush strokes or streaking on your nails. It's not super problematic. Again, just allow your bead of polish to glide over your nails, and you're good to go. I will also suggest 3 coats and a glossy top coat. This will dry down quite flat like a chrome. Chained Prince is a strong dark blue to purple shifting base with micro hollow flakes. This has a vampy type of feel overall. It starts off on the softer side in terms of buildup. We're not seeing this multi-chrome effect in, say, a chrome-like formula. We're seeing it in this shimmery type formula. And that's not to say I'm referring to a more scattered type of shimmer effect. The multi-chrome to this is easy to build up, as you can see on my full hand shot here. I will also suggest 3 coats and a glossy top coat. This will dry down just a touch on the thirsty side because of the little hollow flecks, so go in with a slightly thicker glossy top coat. Testament of Myrkul is described as a light black base with purple to red shimmer, gold flakes, and silver flakes. I apologize if I said this one incorrectly. I'm very much not at any point in the game for any of these inspirations, so I do not know how you're supposed to say that, and I didn't want to look it up to avoid spoilers. Anyways, Testament has a very similar feel in application and build-up style to Chained Prince. It starts off on the softer side, but it packs a punch for opacity for me on my wide load nail beds at 3 coats. And this will also have a bit of texture from those flakes. They are of the chunkier variety, but they're not super huge. I would still classify them on the smaller side, but I think that it is enough that it will give you a touch of unevenness. So make sure you finish with possibly a thin layer of glitter smoother or a thicker glossy top coat. Edict of Bane is a dark teal base with purple to red magnetic pigment and orange to green flakes. So as I was building this one up, especially on these first 2 coats, I was immediately thinking maybe what you're thinking here and saying this looks pretty similar to Testament of Myrkul, that previous one, but they're quite different when you build them up. So I just thought it was worth noting. I thought it was interesting. Edict of Bane looks really cool unmagnetized and magnetized. This is one of those magnetic polishes that I think you could wear either way. If you want that vampier type of purpley look with a soft red shift to it, then you could absolutely not magnetize it. This reacted really well with the Magic Magnetic top coat that I always use so that I can show both ways of wearing magnetic polishes. So I think it's very user-friendly. It snapped too with that top coat. Or if you wanted to magnetize each of your layers individually, it still worked very well with my magnet. This has a beautiful duochrome looking shift to it. As you can see on my macro shot here, I did finish with a thin layer of glitter smoother just to kind of plump it up even more and gloss it up to get more movement out of those magnetic pigments. Lash of Bhaal is described as a black base with red reflective glitter and red magnetic pull. This is one of my top picks in the set. This one, and I'd have to say Queen of the Depths, are my favorites, that bluish chromish look. Now this one, because we've got some reflective glitters going here, it's in this somewhat scattered type of sparkle effect. We do have a somewhat heavier formula. It's quite viscous on the nail, but not difficult at all to apply. Just go in a touch heavier than you normally would if you tend to polish on the thinner side to prevent any type of dragging. So again, just don't be afraid of potential over buildup. With that said, depending on how you apply this one, you'll want to do 2 or 3 coats. No issues with getting those magnetic pigments to snap to on my ring magnet, and beautiful movement. I really liked how vampy good this one was. I'm going to suggest a glitter smoothing top coat and a glossy top coat to finish this one off though. You want it to be ultra glossy like my swatch photos so that you get that nice movement with the magnetic pigment. And last but not least, we've got Lost Hope. This is a darkish red jelly base with strong orange to yellow shimmer. This is what I would say as being a jelly type of finish. You can stop at 2 coats if you like that softer looking effect, especially with Aurora type of shimmers like this that are super glowy. But I personally, I'm queen 3 coats and I chose to do just that. And it plumped up really well. Now we have a very strong squish factor with this. So if you're like me and you prefer that 3rd coat, just go in a touch lighter on that 3rd coat, almost like a formality to prevent any over buildup. Finish with a good glossy top coat as this will dry down more on the flat side. And last but not least, we've got the Willet Topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. We have lots of lighter formulas across the board here, and I don't mean that in a sheer sense. We have them like this so we can have all that beautiful shimmer shine through. So of course, a lot of these work perfectly over black. Now, I think a lot of these first couple that we're checking out here will also work really well with matchy-match colors or maybe earthy type tones. I think Rite of Thorns had a lot of versatility to it. Queen of Depths, I'm on the fence about because it's more chrome-like, so personally, I would not topper it. Chained Prince looks vampy and wonderful over black. I would stick with matchy-match or super dark colors for that. Myrkul looks fantastic too, very much like the previous one, Chained Prince. You just want to stick with dark colors because we've got more of a multi-chrome looking appearance. And again, same thing with Edict of Bane. If you want more of a louder in-your-face black base behind the magnetic pigment, you could topper it over black, but this is one that I personally would not topper. Lash of Bhaal, same thing. I would not topper this one. It is too beautiful on its own. And I'm going to say the two magnetic polishes, that's it. I don't know. I just didn't care for it toppered. Lost Hope is stunning over black. It takes on this more burgundy kind of flame red looking appearance. It's very pretty. And I think over dark colors, burgundies, reds, maybe even, I dare say, dark pinks, this is going to look really cool. So the Resist the Urge collection is going to launch August 16th at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We also have a new cuticle oil to check out. The scent is called Long Rest. If you play the game, you would totally get that. But this month we have a rollerball style. This is a slightly bigger size than what we saw with the stick pen last month. It's got a metal roller ball on the end here. I know some roller ball cuticle applicators, I guess, yeah, applicators for lack of better words, sometimes have a plastic ball. I've seen them not roll very well sometimes, or honestly, in my experience, it's the plastic ball that tends to get a little stuck. But this one is no issues getting product out of the little metal ball here. And just for tradition's sake at this point, I have not read the scent description, so I'm going to blind sniff it against my cuticles here, and then we're going to talk about the scent itself. So I have my fingers right now. I know you can't see it, but it's a couple inches away from me, and I'm not really smelling a whole lot. So the scent, for those of you who are very sensitive to really strong smells, it's not super powerful. I'm still not. Granted, we just had dinner, so I'm recording at night. Hello. Baby did not take a nap today, but it's nighttime, which is why it looks a little gloomier in here. But the cows and the dragon behind me are not gloomy, just making sure everyone knows. But this smell, staying on topic here, is... Oh, that's nice. It's very earthy. It's earthy with like spa-like smells, and it's all almost like in the middle note, I'm smelling like a sexy man type of cologne smell. It smells kind of masculine to me. It smells like aftershave, if that makes sense. So definitely earthy, and then like an aftershave type of smell, not like cheapy, crappy type of aftershave smell. It's very pleasant. If you did not catch my Arcana Lacquer video last month where I talked about their oil, it is what I would consider more of a lighter type of oil. The main ingredient to it is jojoba oil, which is a really fantastic skin oil that like it's got a lighter type of consistency to it. So it soaks in really easily to your skin. This is one of those oils that I personally use when I'm washing my hands throughout the day. When I go for something heavier, like my balms or my jellies, things like that, I'll do those in the morning and then at nighttime to get more of a super saturated feel. But yeah, washing my hands throughout the day, light oils like this is very, very nice. The official scent description to see how correct or incorrect I am. Let's see. Long Rest has notes of bergamot, amber, frankincense, myrrh. I'm gonna say this scent note or this scent wrong. I always say it as oud in my head. Maybe it's weed. I don't know. Somebody correct me in the comment section. I know somebody out there is dying to, but let me know how I'm supposed to say that. And powder. So lots of earthy, almost incense like smells, but I'm not really getting an incense. Yeah, it's definitely that earthy, beautiful earthy scent. Kind of like if you've ever gone to like Renaissance Festival and you are walking next to, they have a lot of essential oil booths and they have, yeah, a lot of times they're burning like incense and stuff. It's kind of like that, but like there's like an aftershave undertone to it. So it's very pleasant. I would hazard a guess and say that this is probably more of a unisex type smell, even though like the aftershave, at least to me, is more of a masculine type scent. I still think it's pretty unisex. It's just very clean and earthy and just fantastic. It's a really nice smell if earthy is your jam. Very natural, I guess. Earthy. We'll go with earthy. But you can also grab the Long Rest Cuticle Oil Rollerball pen along with this launch on August 16th. I'm going to link you all below to Arcana Lacquer's website where you can grab them directly there. And I'll also link you to their Instagram page if you have not joined that and you want to give them a follow and keep up with their launches and extra swatches and all that fun stuff. All of that will be in the description box below, including timestamps if you need to go back for anything. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.